Afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And we finally got rid of this 5 days worth of rain here in central Jersey, and now we got a brand new car out here to take a look at. Today we got this 2023 Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition with some updates for 2023. So let's dig in. All right, the front end of this Wilderness, we have a whole lot of flat black cladding all over the place. It's a little much for me. Let me know what you think. But we do have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lamps. However, we do have standard bulbs in the turn signals, which again doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I do like these Gatling gun fog lamps on either side. I like the gold trim that they have on either side of the bumper. We have that big Subaru badge up front, flat black on the grille top and bottom. So overall, it's got some good tech, but I'm just wondering about this unwieldy looking style on the front with all this flat black plastic cladding. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, so wheel and tire setup isn't wowing me on this Wilderness. We pretty much have a standard satin black wheel, 17 inches, looks all right. 6 spokes, standard brake and rotor package. We have all-terrain tires on this Outback Wilderness, 225 on the width, 65 series sidewall, 17s, all 4 corners. The car is all-wheel drive, but on the Wilderness, opposed to a regular Outback, if we zoom in here and look at our suspension setup, we have another inch of ground clearance on the Wilderness. So Subaru has this at 9.5 inches of ground clearance on the Wilderness, opposed to the standard Outback. All right, here we are in this full side profile of this Outback Wilderness. The Outback has gotten huge. Every year it seems to get bigger and bigger. I don't see a whole lot of styling changes for 2023 here, if at all, but it is raised up higher, like I had mentioned, and it's got a lot of gold on it for this Wilderness package. So let's zoom on in and take a look at all this flat black plastic cladding around the wheel wells. Again, Wilderness, they're expecting this thing to go off-road, so I can understand why they want to protect the paint. We have the Subaru Wilderness badge right here on the door. We have flat black on the side view mirror with LED turn signals. We're gloss black, we are body colored on the front and rear door handles. Up top, we're flat black on the roof rails with the gold accents. We have a flat black shark fin antenna and a standard style sunroof. All right, on the rear end of the new Outback Wilderness, we have LED lighting on the tail lights, but not on the turn signals again. We have a lot of that flat black cladding around the bumper. We have dual exhaust, but it's coming out the bottom. Would have been nice to see maybe some fancier exhaust tips that shoot out the back a little bit, since you're doing a dual exhaust setup, rather than having them both tucked up underneath. That rear wiper, again, is down below on the rear glass. We'd like to see that tucked up underneath the roof spoiler. And we have the Outback Wilderness badge on the right, the Subaru all-wheel drive badge on the left. All right, under the hood of this Wilderness Outback, we have a 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer 4-cylinder engine. Made it to an 8-speed CVT. So we have the Cvt transmission with 8 simulated gears. 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. If you choose to tow with your Outback Wilderness, you can tow up to 3,500 pounds. MPGs, 21 in the city, 26 on the highway, 23 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. All right, everybody, we are inside this Wilderness Outback for 2023. And before we get going with the interior, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this cost? I see all this blingy Wilderness stuff all over the outside of it, you know, and you're going to see more blingy Wilderness badging on the inside. How much is this? Well, the way this one is optioned, 2023 model year, Wilderness Edition, we're looking at an MSRP of $42,148. Let's check out the interior. Starting with the footbox, a nice large dead pedal, brake, and accelerator. Nothing too fancy down here. We have the Subaru Wilderness all-season floor mats. Carpeted floor mats also come with the car. They're in the back. On the seats, we have power seats with power lumbar adjustment for the driver and front passenger. Then we have this nice faux leather material with gold cross stitch, and the Subaru Wilderness embossed on the headrest for both the driver and front passenger seats, but nice seats and nice and comfortable. All right, we got the door panel and we have soft touch material up top. We have this fake carbon fiber action going on around the black door handle. Flat black on the switchgear, nice soft armrest with the gold stitching. Nice job. Also, the upgraded sound system is in here. We also have soft touch up top on the dash. Some more of this fake leather with gold cross stitch. We have some of this fake carbon fiber plastic here, and then underneath we have the glove box, which is nice and large. All right, here is a new infotainment system for 2023 for Subaru. This is the 11.6-inch Subaru Starlink system with nav, with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Just about everything is done through your screen, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. We have 3-stage heated seats right here for the driver and front passenger. We have dual climate control action going on. Nice map, touch screen, nice and responsive to the touch, which is very, very nice. You have your home button right in the middle, where you can hit home and we can get all of our apps and phone and map and radio and anywhere you want to go. Here's your CarPlay and Android Auto right there. You just hit the X to move out. Up top, we have a separate, instead of having that separate screen up here on the top of the dash, it's now in this larger infotainment system up top with a separate menu, and you can just go to the right and it's going to bring you to different menus along the top, from weather to your X modes, and you can go back and back through the weather, back through your water temp, oil temp action, and then you can get to your Bluetooth. And so that's what this is for, which I think is kind of a nice way to integrate that into this system. And then once you get into the system again, we can go back to home, we can set up our profiles, we can go into our managed devices and add a device like your phone. So there's some nice technology in here. Here's your auto stop start, on or off. There's your vehicle settings, where you can control where your X modes are, your vehicle dynamics, your auto vehicle hold, which every time you restart the car, that comes off. You have to positively turn it back on. What that will do is, if you're stopped at, let's say, in traffic, and you don't have to leave your foot on the brake while you leave the car and drive, once you're stopped, the car will hold itself in place until you depress the gas pedal, and then it will keep going forward. So that's a nice touch. We have your adaptive headlights, which are right here. You can turn them on and off. Auto stop start, on and off. I'm going to turn that off. I can't stand it. But then you have your driving assistance controls, where you got your rear vehicle detection or your lane departure warning. Pre-collision braking is always set to on. Your warning volume and how you want your units displayed, miles per hour, gallons, or you can go with kilometers if you're not in the United States. So there's a lot of cool different things they have in this updated system. We can go back to map. We're good to go. If we go to reverse, Now we got our parking camera, which has nice clarity, good trajectory, but why is the bottom half of the screen blank? This thing should take up the whole screen. I know we got a portrait mount instead of a landscape mount on this infotainment system, but they got to take it up all the way. There's no 360 view camera in here, so you got to take up the whole screen. This looks kind of stupid having it this way, but it is what it is. But this is the updated system. I like the way it looks. I like the way it's integrated. A lot of them are stuck on like to the dash, like glued on. This one is integrated into the dash nicely, which I like. I'm just not a huge fan of this portrait mode, and I'm not a huge fan of having all the buttons inside my head unit. I'd rather have some of them controlled by buttons and switches outside of the infotainment system, but that's the way you have it. Here is our gear shift with the gold touch and the simulated leather gaiter with gold stitching to go through the simulated gears on the CVT, and there's 8 simulated gears. Underneath here you have an aux jack, and then you have a USB-A and a USB-C. No wireless charging. Where in the hell is my wireless charging at 42,000 on a Wilderness? It isn't here. I've checked everywhere. It ain't here. It isn't here. It isn't in the center console. So that's a problem at this price point. We come down further. We have 2 cup holders. Here's our Subaru key fob. Not much to it. Lock. The Subaru button is on lock. Then we have pop the trunk and panic. That's okay. A nice soft armrest right here. You open that up. You have a smaller storage area. You lift that up. You have a larger storage area with a 12 volt. All right, here's the Subaru steering wheel. Nice leather wrap steering wheel. Nice 10 and 2 notches. Subaru badge right here. We need to have some trim going on here. Maybe some of that gold cross stitch on this to kind of tie in with this gold trim down below. We have gold cross stitch on the inside. Need to dress this up a little bit more. Flat black on the switch gear on the steering wheel. Over here we have our voice commands and telephone controls. Over here we have the controls for our cruise and safety suite, the Subaru Eyesight Controls. We do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel. Down the simulated gears, all 8 of them. Down here on the lower left, we have a button to pop the trunk, to dim and brighten the dash, or to turn off that auto trunk open feature if you have your arms full of stuff and you can't open the trunk. You just have to stand behind the car with the key fob for a few seconds and it will go beep, 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 and then the tailgate will open. We come back up to our dash, and where's my digital dash, Subaru? 2023, you gave me the new infotainment. I should have a digital dash. Instead, I got analog for the speedometer and tachometer, fuel level and coolant temperature, with again that small 4-inch display in the center to give me other information. But if you're going to do big changes for 2023 and advertise big changes in technology, you got to give me the digital dash, especially in a Wilderness. That's a problem for me. Overhead console, we have interior LED lighting all the way around in this car. In order to get it to come on and go off when you get in and out of the car, this switch over here must be all the way to the left on door. So when you open the door, those lights come on. And when you close the door, after a few seconds, those lights will go off. We also have our SOS button in case there's big trouble. And here's our Subaru Connect button here. And here is, again, our sunglasses. And then we have our sunshades looking good. We got some non-LED lighting here, which I don't like. But what I do like is this thing pops off. It comes on back, and now we get sliding action to cover up the entire window so you don't have sun beating down on the side of your head when you're driving down the road. So that's a nice touch from Subaru that I like. All right, here we are in the back of the Wilderness, and I have plenty of room back here. This seat is set for my driving position, plenty of room for my knees, plenty of room for my head at 5'11", plenty of shoulder width space, nice consistency of design from front to back. Same door panel with the soft touch material up top, that fake carbon fiber with the black door handle, flat black on the switchgear, nice soft armrest. Nice job in the back. All right, here is our rear console for the back seat passengers. We have 2 heat and air vents, which is nice. We have 2-stage heated seats for both rear passengers, which is nice, a USB-C and a USB-A. We have nice seat pockets behind each front seat. And as we come around the back and we pull down our center armrest, nice soft center armrest, 2 cup holders, nice job in the back here from Subaru. All right, so we're going to open the rear tailgate, and like I showed you, you can do that from the key fob or from the inside of the car on the dash. But to do that, just going to hold that down. That's going to beep, and up comes the tailgate. Nice electric assist on the way up, electric assist on the way down by using this button here. Nice interior space from Subaru. In here we have the all-season cargo mat, which is nice. It comes with the wheel lock set, which is nice. Underneath here, we pull it up. We have some nice carpeting. We push this down, open it up. Nice large spare tire with jack and tools. So thank you, Subaru, for the spare tire. Overall, very nice. We have the security shade here, which can either get left in or you can take it out if you have really large items you want to get in. We also have on the bottom right, we have a 12 volt in case you need power here in the back. And then over here on the left, we do have our releases for the rear seats. So you just pull the release and boom, the left side goes down, and then you come over to the right, pull the release, and then the right side goes down, 60-40 split. And then we have a whole ton of room here in the back of the Outback for whatever your really large item needs are. We also have nice cubbies in here to tuck stuff away in on either side. This one has a cargo net in it, so that's nice. Great to stuff all the plastic you've just pulled off the car in order to do the filming. Right there, nice spot for that. But overall, nice space here in the Outback. All right, here is our window sticker for this 2023 Outback. If I forgot to mention earlier, the color of this is crystal white pearl. And this is what we got here on this new 2023 Wilderness. So let's get in the car and take it for a drive. All right, we have the air on, and we are in this 2023 Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition. Taking it for a spinnerooski. And these big 65 series sidewalls really isolate you from the ground. There is, you know, you hit some bumps, yeah. You know, we're raised up about an inch higher than a standard Outback, so it's gonna seem a little bit higher, but that's what this Wilderness trim is all about. So you can get on those trails, get over some of those larger rocks and stuff on the trails. But a nice drive, nice and easy, nice light steering. You know, no real feedback through the steering wheel, but that's to be expected. Nice and light, really nice, smooth, simulated gears on the CVT. I think they did some work on that. Really don't hear any buzziness at all. You know, I don't have the radio on or any music playing, just so I can hear everything going on with the car. And, you know, there is no real loud rattles or squeaks or anything like that. Road noise is pretty minimal. Wind noise is pretty minimal. We got great visibility out the front windshield, the side glass, the back window, all look good. I do like the design in here. I do like the gold touches with this Wilderness trim, as well as the seating. I think it looks really nice. It's very comfortable. The bolstering is very forgiving, so it's not gonna, you know, hug you too tight if you're a little bit larger than other people. I think it's going to be very comfortable. You know, you have a really nice look on the outside of the car. I'm not a huge fan of all the cladding. Never have been. Never been a huge fan of how big these Outbacks have gotten over the last 10 years. This thing is huge for a lifted wagon. It's really big. But, you know, they're popular. People buy them. This one won't last long. That's why I figured I'd take advantage of it now and get this one in the can. But overall, it's a nice driving car. And people are going to use this for, they're going to use it for road trips. They're going to use it around town, shopping, errands, running the kids around. If people have kids, they're going to hit the mountains, hit the trails, bikes, all sorts of outdoor equipment in the back. That's what Subarus are used for in general, and certainly an Outback can handle that and then some with how big the size of this car is. Now, the one thing that is interesting is the default setting for your lane keep assist is just the warning buzzer. And I hate warning buzzers. You know, you're over the line, you're too close to the line. You know, the lane keep assist tries to keep the car centered between the double yellow line and the white line on the shoulder. So if you fall off of that centering, it's going to go Now, what I did was I switched it before I started the drive on to the function rather than the warning, which means the car is going to try to correct me but not give me a warning. And that feels kind of weird too. There's no setting, from what I could tell, for a warning and a correction by the car. It's either the warning and you correct, or turn it on the function button and then it'll correct for you without giving you a warning ahead of time, so you don't know it's coming, which can be a little unnerving if you're not used to it. So I'm not sure how I would go on that. Let me know what you think about the lane keep assist technology, but this thing's got everything with the Subaru Eyesight, right? You got your blind spot, you got your lane keep assist, you got traffic road sign recognition, cross traffic alert, the whole 9 yards. And the other thing that I think is cool is, and I'm not so sure this is, I haven't noticed this in other Subarus, I should say, but the blind spot light is in the mirror where you expect it, in the top left of your side view mirror on either side. But when there's a car in your blind spot, instead of just a round light appearing, the light actually lights up a Subaru badge, which is engraved into the glass on either side of the car for the blind spot light, which I think is a nice, cool attention to detail by Subaru for a simple piece of technology, which I think is really cool. So that's kind of where we are with this Outback. You know, I don't have, obviously, an off-road track I can take this on to show you that, but let me know what you guys think. I know the Outback has been very controversial in styling. Some people think it's like it, some people don't like it. Frankly, I'm not a big fan of the overall styling of this car. I think it's just too big and too much cladding. But let me know what you think. With the white, it offsets the black pretty well. So, you know, I think it makes it look manageable, you know, but certainly not handsome. I wish there was a panoramic roof in here rather than the standard sunroof. That would have been nice to have the larger panoramic sunroof. You know, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give it a little bit of juice. Once we're finally able to make a left turn here, we're probably going to have to wait a couple of lights because it is rush hour now. 4 o'clock starts the rush hour. Kids are leaving on the late buses from the elementary school, which is right down the road. So it's we're going to have to wait a little bit to get going here, unfortunately. But overall, I think it's a nice package, but it really should have wireless charge. I'm not going to hammer it for not having ventilated seats and only heated seats at 42. I'll let that slide, but at 42 G's plus, by the time you pay sales tax and everything else, you're looking at probably 45, 46. There should be wireless charging here somewhere. That is needed. I was harping on in the 2022 models, I was harping on the Cvt transmission, which I didn't care for as much, but it seems like they've done some work on the Cvt to take the buzziness out of it. So that is a good sign. But again, I don't think at 42,000 we should be putting CVTs in cars. There should be an 8-speed torque converted automatic in this Outback. It's getting bad gas mileage anyway. If you look at the gas mileage that I quoted you, you're going to get, you know, combined driving, the federal estimate is 23 on this car. That's just not good enough. And this thing needs to take off faster. Too much of a delay on the boost out of the turbos trying to get out of there. This thing needs to respond a little bit faster when you need to get out of a tight spot. Wasn't expecting that delay when I put my foot down to make a left turn. but it is what it is. That's another little critique I have there. But let me know what you think about the Outback in general, the Outback Wilderness. I know the 2022 Outback that I reviewed didn't really do well, so I'm hoping with the Wilderness Edition, more people will be interested in this car, because overall I do think it's a good car. It's been around a long time. Subaru just tends to be a little bit behind the curve on technology, except for their eyesight safety, on just regular technology in general. I mean, how long have the other brands in this marketplace have had a 10, 11-inch infotainment? And now finally in 2023, Subaru's come out with an 11.6-inch screen. Finally, right? Still haven't come out with a digital dash. Come on. So, you know, they are still behind the 8-ball. You know, torque converted automatic opposed to a CVT. They put a CVT in every car that isn't a manual transmission. At 42 grand, you can't do that. At 25 grand on a Crosstrek base, fine, right? Or an Impreza base, fine. But on a $42,000 Outback Wilderness, a CVT isn't going to cut it. It just won't cut it. Even though it's smooth, even though we got 8 simulated gears, it won't cut it, because it's not helping you hardly at all on gas mileage. Gas mileage on this car, in comparison to others in the segment, is atrocious. You know, 23 combined. That stinks. 26 highway stinks, and you know, 21 city stinks. So for this kind of car, so and they got to get going a little bit faster at Subaru. Get with the program a little bit more on some of these critiques that I have for the car. But let me know what you think about everything I just said. If you're in love with these Outbacks and you think I am totally out of line and wrong, let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you agree with me, let me know. If you're shopping for one of these, let me know if this review was helpful, especially with this Wilderness trim. If you're cross-shopping this against the competition, let me know what you're looking at instead of an Outback Wilderness. But you know what? Thanks a lot to Ciocca Subaru for providing the channel access to this 2023 Subaru Outback Wilderness. Thank you to all of you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. Also, please consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.